I'm in Oahu this week, staying on the west side, but I'm traveling around the island looking for breaks that are suitable for an intermediate stand-up paddle surfer.
Blue, you're my boy!
I'm staying right at Makaha Beach, but that's off limits for stand-up paddle. The locals have told me that it's okay before 9 a.m., but if you're not from around here, the uncles are gonna ask you from where you're from. So for all intents and purposes, stand-up paddle is off limits to Makaha, which is too bad because that wave looks amazing. But I understand it, it's a locals wave, so you gotta give them respect on that rule. The local I'm staying with sent me down the coast to a break in front of the military base called the 604. It's a soft wave, but the vibes are really cool, and the locals were chatting with me in the lineup. Really good vibe there.
The 604 is located in Waianae, just in front of the Beach House by 604 restaurant. You can park in the dirt lot just behind the restaurant and walk through the rec center gates to the beach. As I mentioned earlier, the wave is really quite chill. When I was there over a period of 3 or 4 days, I had a few knee-high days. I had one afternoon that it picked up a little bit and kind of got to that maybe chest high on a peak set. But really, this is a break for beginners. You'll see a lot of lessons taking place here. And then for intermediates that just want to go out and have kind of a relaxing time out in the surf.
But after a couple mornings, I wanted a little bit more juice, so I headed up to the North Shore.
So obviously, as an intermediate tourist stand-up paddle surfer, you're not going to rock up to Pipeline or Sunset and just drop in. But a local told me of 2 spots on the North Shore that are totally cool to stand-up paddle surf. The first one is up in Haleiwa, right when you get to the North Shore, a place called Pua'ena Point. The other one is just a little bit further up the coast before Waimea Bay, and it's called Chun's Reef. Pua'ena Point is a protected bay that makes it perfect for beginners and intermediates. The waves coming off the point and into the bay are mellow, and the bay is quite protected from the wind. This break is one of the most beautiful settings I've ever surfed at. It's absolutely stunning. In the water, you'll find primarily longboarders, but you'll also find some stand-up paddlers, some foilers, and on the inside of the bay, quite a bit of lessons. It can get a little crowded out on the main peak if the waves are good. Out there, it's definitely a spot for intermediates and above. People are jockeying for position and all the rules apply, but overall the vibe is pretty good. On the inside, you'll find families and lessons, all smiles, people cheering each other on, hooting and hollering. Anyone can head out there. It's a fantastic place to learn. And as a stand-up paddle surfer, I didn't feel out of place. There were a couple others out there when I was there, and there were some foilers buzzing around on the outside. It really felt like all surf craft were welcome. A little further up the coast, you'll find Chun's Reef. A local tipped me off that it would be another appropriate place for me to stand up paddle surf, so after my session at Pua'ena Point, I went out to check it out. It looked fantastic. It was primarily longboarders, a few stand up paddle surfers. There was a lot of peaks, lefts and rights all over the place. It looked really great. I was really excited to check it out the next day, but when I got there, it was all windy and totally blown out, so I went back to Pua'ena Point for the protected bay. If I was back in the area, I think Chun's Reef would be the first go-to. The peaks look fantastic, and when it's a calmer day, it looks like there's a lot of room to spread out and find your own place out in the lineup. Now when I was there, the swell was primarily coming from the north with a little bit of west, so the west side and the north shore were the places to be. Now I'm sure if there was a south swell coming in, the south shore would light up as well. I didn't really explore much down there. It was flat and really windy. Some of the locals told me that White Plains is a great place to stand up paddle surf when the swell and conditions are right. If you know anything about it, leave a comment down below or any other non-secret places that I might have missed.
It's hard enough finding a quality break that isn't crowded, let alone one where it's cool to go out in a stand-up paddle. I'm going to spend some time and money this winter to try to find some regions that really welcome stand-up paddle that offer some quality waves.
So hit subscribe down below and let me know any places you think I should hit.